Hello guys, today we're doing a video on Call of Duty Warzone using the RTX 3080. We're going to be starting it off with 1080p on the lowest settings. These are our settings. Alright. I haven't played Caldera in a long time. I think the last time I played it was when it actually dropped originally with Vanguard. So it's been almost a year, I think. But I thought I would go back since apparently with Warzone 2 coming out, we're going to be losing Rebirth and Fortune's Keep. So we're going to be left with Caldera only on Warzone 1. And in case Warzone 2 sucks, I thought I would make a final video on the final update of Warzone 1 and see how it runs. But so far we're getting CPU bottlenecked at low settings, which I don't think was an issue before. These textures, they don't look good at all. They look very plasticky. Okay, low settings, getting 200 FPS in the sky. Good sign. Yeah, I don't want to be the squad leader ever. Oh, please, pass it along. Chest in here, though. Can use that. Thank you very much. Ooh, the F2000. Nice. Pretty awesome. We're getting 160 FPS. That's kind of crazy how low this is going. But if you got a newer CPU, or I guess if you get faster memory as well, you'll be seeing improved performance in this. You'll probably get around 10 extra FPS if you have better memory, and if you got a new CPU, you should probably be able to hold around 190 FPS to 200 FPS, I would guess. But playing at 1080p low settings, things in the distance are kind of pixelated. Do we want to jump in the heli or what? What's going on? Nice. This F1000 is crazy good. Oh my god. Got a drum mag as well on the bottom. But yeah, 1080p low. It looks kind of decent still. I can't even lie. But once trying to spot enemies in the distance, it's very pixelated. And yeah, you want to use anti-aliasing for sure, because things are not the best looking. But yeah, I can't wait for Warzone 2 to come out and MW2 in general to come out. It'll be out in 2 weeks for the campaign, the early access campaign, and then I think a week after that we'll get the actual game with multiplayer and all that. And then in November we'll get Warzone 2 and DMZ hopefully, which will be kind of exciting to see how our CPU bottleneck we're going to be in that. But if it's going to be anything like Ground War, we should be able to get 140 FPS at low settings with DLSS. I think the max FPS I could get with the CPU was 150. So we had, so we can get up to 150 FPS with the CPU in Ground War. So yeah, if MW2's Warzone is anything like that, we're going to be getting decent performance. But it's definitely lower than Warzone 1. 170. Oh, someone's shooting at me. Let's get moving. In a second, I'm going to go and push it up to 1440p, because you can't change the graphical settings on the fly with this game. You got to restart. So while we're still in the game, we'll go ahead and push up the resolutions. Oh my god. Is that an AI doing that, or is that a person flying that? Yeah, like the rocks over in the distance, it looks very pixelated as well. From memory though, Season 1 of Caldera, I was getting way more FPS in this. I think I was in the 190s to 200s. I could be wrong with this because it's been a while, but hopefully our teammates are still alive and doing well, so I can drop down on them. Only one guy's left alive. Oh my god, okay. You want to get on that? Wow, things are just popping in and out. That's not good. This was not an issue before. I'm gonna let that guy go. I don't want to be stuck fighting a team with just one LMG. Someone over there, I see him. Gonna give him some warning shots. The guy I was sniping up, that's where I died from, was up top there, I think. The gun's still here? Someone took it. Rats. But yeah, straight away, playing at 1440, you can see that there's an enemy right there. Teammates. Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna finish what I said before in a second. Any more enemies here, we're chilling. But yeah, straight away at 1440p you can see that Everything looks so much sharper. It's so much easier to spot enemies at a distance. And nothing's pixelated. So 1440p already is looking really good. And FPS is about the same, since we did have that GPU headroom of around 20%. We're gonna get sniped at now. That guy's dead. I'll get him with money or something. I'll buy him back. Yeah, but FPS is about the same as 1080p, since we did have that 20% extra GPU headroom. So now at 1440p we're able to get 170 to 180 FPS, depending in what area we're in and what's going on the screen. My teammates are all going different ways. I don't like that. Okay, playing at 4K now. Let's see how we can do. We're down 2 men. But that's fine. We'll make it work. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just playing solo now. Let's see how long I can survive for without getting absolutely clapped. 4K, we lost about, what, like 40, 50 FPS? Even more than that, I think. Wait, way more than that once we land. I jump into the only house without a gun in it. That's... I hear someone. We're getting 120 FPS indoors and then 100... Oh my god. What is going on? I swear I heard someone, man. Maybe I'm just tripping, who knows. 115 FPS looking over the map, 122. Okay, it's not as bad. Once we landed, we were getting like 100 FPS. Then we slowly climbed back up to 120, so... Still lost about 60 FPS by playing at 4K instead of 1440p. Game looks incredibly sharp. We're getting pop-in, it's a lot of pop-in as well. This wasn't an issue before. Because I know they did some optimization for this map because it wasn't running too well a couple of months ago. So that might be what's causing it to do all that pop-in. But at the same time, we are playing on the low settings, so we can obviously increase the settings to have better performance. Which we'll see how that will run. I'm gonna take a proper look over the map and see how much FPS we lose. So 115 from 122, not too bad to be honest. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. But the pop-in is very obvious. You don't want to play this game on the lowest settings at all. A good mix of medium to low will take you much further than just playing everything on the lowest. You can see like the ground is just appearing as I fly towards it. It's very blurry, but as I get closer it just pops in. It's very distracting. Sitting in the 90s now, so we lost 20 FPS by just moving into this area. I'm gonna go ahead and enable DLSS real quick as well, because we are playing at 4K, might as well be taking advantage of it. We're gonna be playing the game at balanced DLSS. Does the game look any different? It's kind of hard to tell to be honest. At balanced, we getting any shimmering anywhere? Now the quality of DLSS isn't really the best in COD games. Especially if you play Spider-Man or like God of War or any of those games that have amazing DLSS quality. But at the same time, this isn't too bad either. It's still looking quite good. Some of the textures look a bit grainy. Looks like it's being over sharpened. But I'm pretty sure we have the option to actually adjust it in the settings. So shouldn't be too much of a hassle, right? We actually don't get any... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we're playing the game at medium settings, at 1080p, and let's go show the settings up real quick. It's a mix of low to medium settings. Try to find a good balance. DLSS disabled as well. We don't want that at 1080p. Alright, let's jump into it. If I was going to guess, I would say that we shouldn't be CPU bottlenecked anymore, hopefully. And FPS isn't going to be affected compared to the very low settings. But we'll see. This is going to... I wish the plane hit me. It'd be funny. Okay. Gun. P90. Nice. Now, I did say that we weren't going to be CPU bottlenecked, but it seems like that we are CPU bottlenecked. I like how there's MW guns on the ground instead of Vanguard guns. It seems like we didn't lose any GPU headroom, and FPS is about the same as well, around 180 to 170. So the settings jump from very low to low. Wasn't really that intensive. I'm gonna see the quality of the game, if there's any differences here. Still very blurry. Some textures are just looking really ugly. like here as well. Yeah, the main thing I would actually change is the texture quality to at least medium or high, and you can keep the rest to low. The plane. I don't know why we all separated. I want to be with the boys, but they're going their separate ways.
Enemy UAV active. Your teammate is in the gulag now. If they survive,
But can I take the? I can take the plane. There's no way. There's an enemy right there. Oh, I made him jump. That's so funny. Almost choked. Oh, that's so fun. That really is hilarious to me. Now, where's his teammates at? That's what I'm wondering. Probably waiting for him somewhere, right? Surely. I think at some point in the future, I'm gonna upgrade the RAM on this computer.
Moving up here.
Probably 3600, maybe 4000, but we'll see. Because if I'm gonna test out the lowest settings, probably would help to not get CPU down as early. Oh, he needs help. Let's go P90 at the distance. That's awesome. RAM is sitting at 6 gigs, so we have 4 gigs left. This is a 10 gigabyte card. Okay, second game in, or third game in, I guess. 1440p medium settings. Still no teammates. They left me. Okay, here we go. I like how I magically gained some teammates now. Very nice. Wait, did I like pick up that gun? Yeah, FPS is about the same, to be honest. Maybe, yeah, seems the same as 1080p. We're just losing our GPU headroom that we had before. FPS is around 150 to 170, depending what area you're playing in. We are getting GPU bound at times, and that's why we're falling into the 150s, 140s. But normal second, oh, there's a guy there. Normal situations, we are able to hold 170, 160. Someone's in that building or what? I got you. Oh, no. My teammates still haven't pushed up. That's not a good sign. Okay, got 2. That's. I'll take that. Could have been far worse. I could have died and I would have passed that. Right, 4K now. Definitely starting to feel some input lag. Slight input lag. Just doesn't feel as fluid as 1440p or 1080p. But it's still very much playable. Let's go take care of them real quick. Where are they at? Behind the trees, I see. I've got an idea. Let's go ahead and flank them real quick with that. Whatever this thing's called. The giant rope on the middle of the ground. It's a thing from Apex. Get this real quick and trying to get behind them. Go. Oh, the aiming on this gun is insanely tough at distance. I've got a... What's up, dude? I am very much in trouble though. Someone above me. I'm so dead here, I think. Yeah, everyone's dead. It's just me left. That's awesome. Just gonna go and test that DLSS real quick and then we can restart again. Okay, FPS is 130 now, so we gained 30 FPS from not using DLSS. Pretty good. Quality again, pretty much the same as balanced, which was a slight downgrade compared to native.
teammate has failed. They're sent back
Okay.
to base.
Just gonna push it up to high settings and start again. Okay, so now we're playing with the high settings at 1080p. These are the settings I'm going with.
Enemy soldier nearby.
Good mix of medium to high settings. And we're back at 1080p. And like always, FOV set to 100 as well. And let's see what FPS we can get at the high settings. Still getting a lot of pop in though, which is kind of surprising.
Positive ID on the bounty target.
The pop-in is the worst part about this right now. I don't know. There's a setting you can actually enable where the render distance will increase. Oh no, give me that. Wow, GPU is still sitting in the 80s. That's so weird. Wait, this is my loadout. From back when Cold War was the newest game. GPU is in the 90s now, in the 90% range at times, but we're still sitting in the 80% range most of the time. So we still have a 20% GPU headroom at 1080p. I want to go back and look at the first video that I did with the 3080 on Caldera, because I think it performed way better than this. I know I only did the optimized settings with that video, but still. Yeah, the shadows are still shimmering as well a little bit in the distance at 1080p. The lighting just sucks, to be honest, at 1080p. Game is looking much better though. If there was no pop-in, it'd be very good experience. But regardless, we're still able to hold above 144 FPS, so still definitely playable, even at a high refresh rate. Then once we leave the city area, we are going to jump up to the 170 FPS range. Not bad, we're getting a free boost. But it's not a consistent FPS, I see. It's falling down to the 150s as well. I'm gonna go help out green real quick. It's very hard to spot enemies at 1080p. That's definitely the problem with it. Okay. Peace, I'm out. Just want to avenge my boy. Now I will say that this entire time I haven't had any stuttering or any FPS issues at all. It's ran perfectly smooth. Sorry, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I apologize. Who shot me anyway? Was he up on the roof or was he... Oh, someone's in here. Oh my god, I got somewhat lucky there. This game is definitely more action-packed. I like it. There's more enemies to shoot at. Did someone just look at me again? Maybe the lighting's just bugging out. Game quality is looking way better at 440p. I can't say this enough. It just looks so much better. It's like crystal clear, pretty much. It's so easy to see enemies. Come up to the roof real quick. Look over the map. Oh my god, someone's looking at me again. Just wasn't enough. Why is the RAM usage at 26 gigs? Why are we using up that much RAM? Now I haven't got anything running in the background at all. Just the game and the recording software and the overlay, I guess, as well. And the pop-in is still coming out. Look at this. Even at high settings, we're still getting a lot of major pop-in. The trees are just insanely ugly looking. Where are we going? Down here? There has to be a fix for this, right? Surely there's actually a fix. I don't remember seeing anything in the settings that can increase the render distance, but I could be wrong. But the trees just look awful. Spasquall. We're getting 100 FPS indoors at 4K high settings. Very nice. But we're gonna fall into the 80s. What was that? 58 was. Yeah, 80 FPS. Still very much playable. 4K high settings easily is playable with this graphics card, but not very competitive when you compare it to people playing at 200 FPS at 1080p. These ducky skins are actually impossible for me to start. We're just gonna stick to performance mode since it looks so good. And it's basically the same as balanced as well, so no reason not to use performance. And we gained, okay, it's kind of unfair, I gotta look over the map. We gained around 40 to 50 FPS by using performance DLSS. Very nice. How does the aiming feel? Let's see. It's definitely improved, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell if the aiming is better or not. I got no bullets now. Nice. That was a good use of my 20 bullets I had. Alright, I'm playing at max settings 1080p. These are the settings we are playing at. No ray tracing. Seems a bit unrealistic to use that in a multiplayer kind of game where every frame matters. Okay, FPS is sitting at 130 to 160 FPS depending where we're looking. GPU is obviously maxed out at this point. And FPS is doing quite good as well. You can use DLSS here if you want to get consistent 200 FPS, but I think the smart thing to do is to just drop the quality down to medium or high to get more FPS naturally compared to using DLSS. You know what, for the fun of it, I'm going to go ahead and enable DLSS just to see how it looks. We want to stick to quality for those lower resolutions, so I will start it off with the quality DLSS. Yeah, this does not look good at all. Like up close, it looks good. The sharpening is obviously way overdone, but up close it looks fine. In the distance, however, it does not look good at all. It looks very blurry. Super blurry, and FPS didn't really improve. It's sitting in the 140s now instead of the 130s, I guess. So, is it really worth using DLSS? Not really. At 1080p anyway. Now playing at 1440p. This game looks fantastic at 1440p max setting. Actually looks really good. And pop-in isn't as bad either at max settings. On the ground anyway. I'm pretty sure on the sky it'll be just as bad as what it is right now. As what it is at those lower settings. Yeah, FPS is sitting at 120 to 140. So still very playable, feels very smooth, very fluid. Can't really complain about this. And I think with this card, honestly, even though this card is a 4K card, I think 1440p is the sweet spot if you want to get the most amount of frames while having the best quality as well. It's not the best quality, but it's the best balance between quality and performance, I should say. But you can obviously play at 4K with DLSS and you get the same frame rate. Okay, last game. Gonna be playing the game at 4K max settings. Drop it down in the mines. Let's see how we do. We're getting 70 to 80 FPS at high settings, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna fall into the 60s at this point. Yeah, 60 FPS. Gonna fall into the 50s as well in those more intensive situations. And as I was landing, I saw the pop-in. It's just as bad as before. I guess you just can't change it. It's just the game engine issue. Can't handle all those trees. This feels very laggy at this point, I gotta say. Even though we're getting 80 FPS, it's not a consistent 80, falling into the 60s very consistently, which is making the game feel awful. But we are getting around 100 FPS with Ultra Performance DLSS. I'm being quiet because I don't want to get shot at. Still bugging out with the items in the ground. Still hasn't been fixed. Well, but yeah, that's it for the video, guys. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. As always, if you like what you see, then a sub and a like to the channel will help appreciate as well. See you next time.